It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler.
Hey guys, Tyler here. This year has been a fantastic year for the King of the Monsters. We have gotten the remake for King Kong vs. Godzilla. We gotten Godzilla Singular Point, which is like an anime that came out on Netflix. We also received a fan whole entire CGI movie about Godzilla and Gamera. Now this one is really interesting for me because for this year is like the anniversary for the first Godzilla movie, which turned at least 65 years old. It's hard to believe that this whole entire franchise is 65 plus years old. However, the great announcement that I've seen so far has to be a remake. Yes, a really short remake of Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Now, the first movie came out back in 1971. And so this is at least 50 plus years after the original Hedorah came out during that whole entire time period. The first thing that immediately caught my attention was the fact that they actually are using suits for this whole entire short feature. Now, a lot of the modern Godzilla movies have not been using suits as of lately. Since 2014, there has been nothing but CGI from the whole entire Legendary Pictures, whole entire reboot of their whole entire franchise. The first thing that caught my eye for that trailer for that Godzilla vs. Hedorah short is the fact that they're using suits this time around in comparison to the recent movies. Now, since 2014, starting with Legendary Pictures, it was more and more common to see Godzilla in CGI. The last real movie that had Godzilla in a suit was back in 2004 with Godzilla Final Wars. And also, judging from the trailer, it appears as though that they're using the suit directly from Final Wars. Now, the reputation for Toho Studio is pretty bad when it comes down to suit preservations, because at least during the whole entire SOAR period, the suits were not preserved really well. They were worn out after many days of shootings. So it's been at least 15 plus years since Final Wars came out, and the suits still look really fantastic. Many people, myself included, when we saw Final Wars back in 2004, was that we were a little disappointed that Hedorah didn't have much screen time, because there was a brief second from that whole entire movie. We have plenty of monsters that had screen time, like King Caesar, which was really cool. There was also Anguirus, and also this other monster that was also King Ghidorah, and these other sort of monsters. But for some strange reason, Hedorah was not, of course, really big whole entire thing in the movie. He was not a big role at all. And so it was really cool to actually see this monster come back in a full feature-length short. Also, the whole entire announcement comes across as very ironic to me, because the director of Godzilla vs. Hedorah, Yoshimitsu Banno, originally planned on having a sequel for the whole entire film. However, Tomoyuki Tanaka, the producer of the Godzilla franchise back in in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, he was actually blacklisting Banno from making movies because he did not like how Hedorah turned out to be what it was. And so for the longest time, he was actually blacklisted from making any type of movies as Toho Studios. He was still the writer for movies like Prophecies of Notre Dame, which again was also a banned movie from Toho Studios back in the 70s. And also before the Monsterverse, he also wanted to make a 3D movie based upon Godzilla vs. Hedorah, but again, that was not, of course, happening too. So he ended up being the producer of the Monsterverse movies that we know. And so it's pretty cool that Banno actually got his wish from the grave, and so that's really, really crazy that this actually happened. Now, the 1971 movie tackled some really huge topics that were really serious in that time period, particularly that of pollution. And so that movie, prior to anything else back in when the Godzilla movies were being filmed in that time period, it was actually the darkest movie since the original movie that came out back in 1954, because pollution was also a very serious issue. The movie was also very experimental in a lot of places. It had like animated shorts, it had like a lot of what the fuck moments. And so I'm kind of curious, will this short for this whole entire Godzilla movie actually, of course, be like, very, message heavy about pollution and stuff, or will it actually be like some sort of knock 'em, sock 'em kind of Godzilla movie? Either way, I'm kind of curious how it turns out. I'm not sure if it's actually going to be like region lock or not, but if that's the case, I, of course, am going to use my VPN to, see that movie because I'm kind of curious what is like the end result for that whole entire shorts. So what do you guys think about this announcement of the shorts? Tell me in the comment section down below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.
It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. He's your only black friend, so he's your best black friend. I wouldn't trade him for another black friend, because black friends are rare, as you should be aware. He smiles like Richard Pryor, so just sit and stare. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler. It's everyone's friend, it's Tyler.